So I felt this really strong urge to record a video and talk a little bit about just what is self-development and talk a little bit about my own journey into self-development and just how much of a positive impact it has made on me. So for those of you that don't know my story, I'm sure most of you on here do, but I grew up pretty average. I was very average. I was a super shy, weak, weak guy, growing up, high school, elementary school. Got picked on a lot, was kind of made fun of. I was actually voted the quietest guy in my entire high school, believe it or not. That was literally in my yearbook. If you don't believe me, you can go find it. And, I just was never really the achiever type. I always struggled with self-confidence. I struggled with a lot of things, really. And, didn't have a really easy time growing up, I guess you could say, compared to a lot of kids. And I started doing the normal things, so I tried my best to get good grades. I went to college. I got accepted into a normal college and got a degree in engineering, and that was a pretty big accomplishment for me. But I was always kind of struggling with the self-confidence and that aspect of it. I was still super, super shy. I still am sometimes, but I'm a lot better than I used to be. But at some point, things started to go a little bit south for me. So I haven't talked too much publicly about this, but I was married once before and got divorced. Completely my fault. But basically, I kind of went down a little bit of I guess I had a little bit of a dark time there for a while where I was just kind of blaming myself and really questioning a lot of the life choices that I'd made and things like that. And I wasn't really happy. And during that darker time, I was also, so that was when I was working in a corporate job as an engineer, working really long hours. There were certainly some aspects of that job that I did like. I met some really great people, but I wasn't really happy. I didn't like moving around all the time and that kind of stuff. And I'll be completely honest, I haven't admitted this publicly before either. So what actually got me headed down the self-development journey, I kid you not, I was watching a Tai Lopez advertisement, and it was, I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was maybe on YouTube, and he was just talking about, you have the ability to create whatever life that you want. And there were some things that he was saying that really resonated with me. If you guys don't know who Tai Lopez is, he's kind of like an internet celebrity, I guess you could say. He's, flashy cars and girls and stuff like that. And he's kind of, he puts off a certain persona that, some people don't identify with too much. But I think that he actually does have a pretty good message. And he's trying to get younger people into self-education and stuff like that, which I agree wholeheartedly with that. He's got a great TED Talk. I think it's the Law of 33%, where he talks about the power of having mentors and stuff like that. And I actually ended up meeting the guy randomly at a Berkshire Hathaway meeting. So full disclosure, being completely honest, that is actually what first got me interested. And he did have an online course, and I bought it. And I didn't necessarily complete that course completely, but there was a spark. Something lit up for me, and that was, holy cow, like there's so much information and knowledge out there that I'm not really tapping into. And that was kind of what first got me, thinking about the power of self-education and, the growth mindset and being able to actually change things about your situation. So previous to that, if you guys have heard of the fixed versus growth mindset, I was definitely in a very fixed mindset. I kind of believed that whatever, situation I had in my life at that time was the way it's going to be. And, whatever skills I possess, that's what I've got. That's my natural ability. And that I'm probably never going to get too far above that. And that really was the mindset that I was operating from at that time. So what happened after that was I started doing a ton of reading. So I was reading all these books. This was way before real estate. I started reading a ton of books on mindset and limiting beliefs and, motivation. And I was just constantly consuming content. And, this just kept building. So I didn't really get interested in real estate, for several years after that first spark, I guess, went off for me. So I've talked about some of this stuff in my podcast before, but I don't think I was ever, talked about what really started it. So that was really it. And so the books, the content, eventually stumbled on Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty details of the real estate business, because you can go and watch one of my podcasts if you want to understand that part of it. But the long story short is I went from never owning a home before to I'm owner in 130 units right now, or around 130 units, and we're flipping a lot of houses. I actually just did the math, and I was looking at our spreadsheet, and then the next 2 to 3 months, or 1 to 3 months, we're going to sell 20 flips. So, I mean, thinking back to the mindset that I was at, when I first started down this process, if me now would have told me then, you're going to flip 20 houses in 3 months, like I would not have thought that was possible. I would not have thought that, little old Ian would ever be capable of doing something like that, or building a business that was capable of doing something like that. So I'm pretty passionate about the self-development stuff, because I have personally lived it. I have seen how much, through the right information, you can actually reprogram your mind and change your own mindset. And I really want to spend more time teaching that to others. So if you haven't noticed, I put out a lot of content. So I'm constantly preaching this stuff on Facebook. I'm preaching it on Instagram. I've got a YouTube channel. And the part that I actually enjoy the most, yes, building this big business has been enjoyable. I love that part of it. But, being able to take the stuff that's helped me along the way, be able to pass that on to other people, and actually have them tell me that I made a big difference, like that to me is the holy grail of, satisfaction. Is I've literally had people come up to me, and people that I didn't even necessarily spend one-on-one time with, but just because they started following my posts and they went down some rabbit hole, and kind of started down the same path that I got onto, but it was because the spark came from something that I did, and they were telling me, you literally changed my life. I've got this whole new outlook. So like that has been the most rewarding thing that has ever happened to me, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. So I want to do more of that. If you guys didn't notice, I did recently start a coaching page, so I'm going to start doing some paid coaching. Part of that is self-serving, is I want to get better at it myself, so I want to be able to help other people, but I want to get better at coaching. I want to be better at speaking. That's why I'm doing these videos, or part of the reason I'm doing these videos, because I want to become better myself so that I can be a better teacher. And I also want to build a larger following so that I can start getting this message out to a few more people, because that would really be, I guess my ultimate goal is to be somebody that is a teacher and somebody that can, help other people and put out content and be a content creator. And I've actually been thinking about this a lot recently. What does the business goals for the 5-10 year plan look like? And I like real estate. I'm probably always going to invest in real estate and maintain our business, maintain a large portfolio of rentals. But when it comes to what am I actually going to spend my day-to-day time on, in the next, I'd say my 5-year plan, probably, as business-wise at least, is to get to a place to where I'm spending more of my time doing the coaching and the creating content. And I really want to do like an online course and some boot camps, and we've also talked about doing like retreats and stuff like that. So to me, that is the really rewarding part of it that I want to do more of. So my goal is to be doing a lot more of that stuff, in the next 3 to 5 years. So I actually have a couple of really good friends who they've kind of done the same thing. Grace and Tarl Yarber, I don't know if you guys know them. Same thing. They built a really large business, and then they started doing events, and they actually were the ones that organized that Maui Mastermind that I went to. And they really kind of started asking some questions about, what do you really want out of life? What is your lifestyle? What do you really want your lifestyle and your day-to-day to look like? So things I've been thinking about a lot that I wanted to share with you. But if you get nothing else out of this video, the one thing I do want you to take away is that whatever beliefs that you have about your current situation, wherever you are currently at, you really can change your situation if you get the right information in front of you and if you follow the process. So there absolutely is a process. I've been through it myself. I feel like I could help people. I feel like from the stuff that I've picked up over the last few years, I feel like I could help people get there a lot faster versus just trying to do it on their own. But when you're a kid, anything's possible. You're a kid, everything's possible. You can be whoever you want to be. Somewhere along the way, we pick up all these limiting beliefs, and we start to think that, well, maybe that's not for me. Maybe you start to have self-worth things. So you pick up all of these, this garbage from people, and a lot of times it's not intentional. They're just projecting their own limiting beliefs onto you, and you slowly, subconsciously start to pick up all this crap, and it leads you to believe that you're not capable of doing the things that you absolutely are capable of. So that is the message that I wanted to share today. Is don't limit yourself. Go for your dreams, figure out what it is that you really want to do out of life. It doesn't need to be real estate, doesn't need to be making a lot of money, it could be just helping a lot of people. But whatever it is, get really clear on that, and don't listen to those limiting beliefs in the back of your mind, and go for it. So I'm here to help. If there's anything I can do, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for listening to my message. Have a good week.